Thank you.
I'll be back.
As Andy said, that's him. He's at the top. I'm Laura Shively. I'm the graduate assistant for competitive sports, and then we have our two program assistants over here in the corner. We've got Chris Kingston right here in the Under Armour hat, and we have Jonathan Rubin right here in the teal. They will be probably the more night-to-night basis feedback you get. You might see me out every other night, and Andy maybe a little bit less than that. But you will see us out from time to time. These are three other faces that you need to know. Tim McNeely is our Director of Campus Recreation. You most likely will not see him, but if you do, make sure you shake his hand, introduce yourself, be nice, make sure you're doing your job correctly. David Parker is our Associate Director. He's over risk management and programs, so he's in charge of fitness, competitive sports, adventures, and aquatics. So he is Zach's boss, and Zach is Andy's boss. So Zach you will see probably once a week. He is the assistant director in charge of competitive sports. All right, so these are the rest of the training dates for the remainder of training. As you can see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is 6:30 to 9. As Andy said, we are going to be meeting in this room. We will transition every now and again out to the fields where we'll do some station work, work on whistleblowing, throwing flags, all that stuff. And then Monday and Tuesday of next week, we will have practice games. The rough estimate is 5:30 to 11:30 right now, but based on team signups, when I finally get the schedule up and published is when we'll have a more concrete schedule for you guys. You'll be able to pick from 5:30 to 9 or 8 to 11:30 for those nights. So Andy will email you probably Thursday afternoon or Friday morning with that. Okay, general expectations. This is a job. Obviously, we need you to be on time, but this more so because we can't start our games if you're not here, so we really need you guys to be on time. As the saying goes, to be early is to be on time is to be late, and to be late is unacceptable. We do have a write-up system with competitive sports, so if you do show up late, you don't have your equipment, you're not ready to go, we will have our supervisors write you up, which is not a good thing, so make sure you guys do show up ready to go on time. Make sure you're wearing appropriate attire. That means athletic shoes, athletic shorts, black or white t-shirt. Make sure your shorts are not like neon green. They can be gray, white, or black. We do accept navy. We don't like it, but we will accept it. We don't want you guys to go out and buy new shorts if you don't have to. Make sure if you wear cleats, they can't be metal. So you have to have rubber cleats. We do let our refs wear cleats, but it's not a necessity. You can wear tennis shoes when you're out there. We will provide you guys with a whistle, but we'll probably provide you with one. So after you guys need a second one, we're going to charge you guys $5. So the first one's free, second one, third one, fourth one are going to be $5. And make sure you know the rules. It's an obvious one for being an official. And then also make sure you're working with your teammates both on and off the field. We will have a pre-shift meeting with our supervisors ready to go. So that's where you're going to need to get to know your other refs, your supervisor, all that good stuff. And then just make sure you guys are hustling. This hopefully doesn't need to be said, but we need you guys to hustle to make sure you're in the right spots to get the right calls. Okay? All right. So for scheduling, we use a software called Do Sports Easy. Hopefully we'll get you guys set up with that in the next couple of days. But you will need to fill out the availability form, which we'll do at the end of tonight if you haven't already. And you need to send any updates to Andy by Mondays at 5 p.m. So you should do your everyday availability with your classes. If you have a standard meeting that you have every week, that's what you should put on your everyday availability. But then if you have something where you have a meeting every now and again, that's when you're going to do the updates and changes through Andy. All right, schedule comes out every Friday. We will send an email out when that is published. All you'll need to do is log in to Do Sports Easy and see when all your shifts are. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see who you're working with. Do Sports Easy is a little bit different than other work softwares that we've used in the past, but you will be able to see when you're working. The schedule will cover Monday through Sunday, but that's the Sunday for the following week, so you will have to skip forward. We won't play on Sundays if we can't help it, because we know that's when fraternities and sororities have chapters, so we try to avoid that day. But if we have a bunch of rainouts or if we have a bunch of schedule conflicts, we will play on Sundays if need be. And like I said, all changes have to be in by Monday at 5. If they're in after that, we can't guarantee that we can honor your time off request. We'll work with you if it's an absolute necessity, like you have a family emergency that comes up on a Tuesday or Wednesday and you call us freaking out saying, hey, I really can't work next week, we'll take you off the schedule. But if it's something like, I really want to watch the How I Met Your Mother finale, which is one we've gotten in years past, we're not going to honor that if it's last minute. All right, so to get to Do Sports Easy, you go to the UNCW Campus Recreation page and you click on the Do Sports Easy link on the right-hand side. It's going to take you to this screen. Your login information is the same as your email. That's why we use Do Sports Easy, because we are able to connect it with the UNCW server. So just log in with your UNCW standard login and info. And it's going to bring you up to this page automatically. We are not going to be able to schedule you or put you through payroll if you don't have this information inputted. So make sure tonight when you get home, log into Do Sports Easy, go ahead and fill out this information. This is just so we have that contact info because it won't let us schedule you until that information is in. All right. This is just what the schedule will look like. It has a My Shifts, My Jobs, My Availability, Trade Center, My Info. My Info is that stuff you filled out at the beginning, so if your phone number changes, you decide you want to have a bigger size shirt for whatever reason, you can put that there. Trade Centers, if you don't want your shift, you can put your shift on Trade Center. However, once your shift's on Trade Center, that does not mean you're no longer working it. You have to wait until someone picks it up and then that trade is approved. That is when you finally are not working it. So you need to make sure you have that follow through when you put it on Trade Center. My Availability is something you can edit at all times. You just go in, you highlight when you can't work, you hit save again, and it should be able to, we won't be able to schedule you at that point. And then My Shifts is where you'll be able to see your shifts for the week. And as you can see there, this is what availability looks like. Make sure you do hit that save right there in the top right-hand corner. You'll put that you're unavailable. Don't put when you prefer to work, because honestly, we don't look at that. If you're available to work and we need you, we're not going to see if you prefer to work. We're just going to see if you're available. All right, this is what My Shifts look like. It'll pop up just like that. It'll be pink. It'll have the time start to finish, and it should have what sport you're working. But if you only work one sport, obviously it's only going to say flag football. All right, My Jobs. This is where I'll have all the sports that you're listed for to be active, hopefully. You won't ever have to worry about looking at this tab. We'll take care of that on our end. All right. So this is what's going to pop up when you hit You Want to Trade. It's going to say all trades are subject to be approved by the administrator. You're just going to hit, do you want to post your trade? Hit yes. It'll pop up on the trade board, but it'll still pop up on our screen that you're working it until someone accepts the trade and then we approve it, like I said earlier. Will you close that door? All right. Just watch this video on payroll.
Welcome to the UNCW payroll verification process. To log on, you will need to access your CNET account. You will need to click on the Secure Log On, Faculty, Staff, and Student icon. Once the log on screen appears, you will enter your banner number or 851 number to you when you arrive at UNCW. If you forgot your PIN, click on the Please Go Here icon to retrieve your password. Once you log on, click on the Utility tab all at the top of the page. On the next page, you will click on the timesheet icon and pull up your timesheets. At this point, all of your job codes should show up on the screen. In order to approve your timesheets, you will need to click on the drop-down menu next to your job codes. You will have to select the month in which you work, meaning you will have to select the previous month. Once the month you want is in the drop-down menu, click on the timesheet icon at the bottom of the page. All of your hours will be displayed under the total hours. You will also be able to scroll through each week to see if your hours are correct. If all your hours are correct, click on the Submit for Approval icon. Once you click on the Submit for Approval icon, you will need to re-enter your PIN when submitting your timesheet. You will once again need to go to the Employee tab at the top of the page, and then go back to the timesheet icon to finish printing all your job codes. You will need to repeat this process for all job codes in which you have hours. If the drop-down tab shows not started, you do not have any hours under this job code, and you can move on to the next timesheet. You can start printing your timesheets on the first business day of the month after receiving an email from campusrec@uncw.edu or from your supervisor. This email will include all the information you need to know when approving payroll. You must complete the approval process by 3 p.m. of the third business day of the month. If you are having trouble approving your timesheets or have an error message, you need to contact the UNCW Campus Recreation Main Office immediately at 910-962-7443. If you believe you are missing hours, you need to contact your direct supervisor immediately. If you click the Enter Hours tab and submit hours without approval from your supervisor, you may be terminated. Once you're done approving your timesheets, you may log out and this will complete the payroll process. You will need to complete the payroll process each month you work. All checks will be deposited automatically on the 15th of each month, with the exception of your first check, which will be available at the cashier's office in the Work Center on the 15th of that month. If you have any questions, please contact the Campus Recreation Main Office or your direct supervisor.
All right, so any questions on that process? That is, you'll get an email from Susan Smith at the first of every month, and you'll need to go in and approve it. You cannot approve it until she sends that email because she has to go in and enter in all your hours. Make sure you are going in and checking all of your pay rates. As officials, you will have a training and you will have an officials pay rate. So make sure you check both because we did have a huge error last month where all pay rates over $725 did not get approved. And so we had a huge overhaul of codes that we had to get approved. So make sure you do check that. We want to make sure you guys get paid for everything you do. We don't want you all working for free. Make sure you don't enter in hours. If there is an issue on your spreadsheet, just email Andy. If you enter in hours, that is cause for termination because it could be a form of fraud. So make sure you guys do not enter in hours. Just email Andy or Zach. All right, so some other information you need to know that's general for our officials. This is the website to all the training videos, all of the training material we use. This will also have all the information we use in our bi-weekly meetings. So like this presentation hopefully will be up tomorrow. That's why we record it. This is where we put it. You will get weekly emails from either Andy or Chris or Jonathan. So just make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. We will have any updates. This will also be where if we see something throughout the week that all the officials are consistently missing, we'll highlight it in those emails. This will have a recognition. We do have officials of the week and we have a spotlight official for the month. So that's where we'll recognize them as well. We also do have bi-weekly quizzes or weekly quizzes? Weekly quizzes that we would need you guys to take in order to keep officiating. They're going to be super easy. We're not trying to trick you. We're just trying to keep you guys consistently thinking about flag football. And maybe, like I said, if there's that one thing that throughout the week that we saw you guys were consistently missing or something that we went over in the bi-weekly meeting, we might cover it in that quiz. So make sure you guys are taking that. And that's the information that we're going to use to then form our bi-weekly meetings, which I believe there's one this week, and then so our first one is flag football will not be next week, but will be the following week at 6:30. We will also, like I said, have pre-shift meetings made. The emails will be sent to our supervisors before the shifts start, and they should run these pre-shift meetings. If for some reason these pre-shift meetings aren't happening, most likely it's because our supervisors have a lot to deal with. They have to deal with getting everything set up, making sure that everyone who's playing is eligible to play, and making sure that all of the officials show up on time and are on the right field. So if it doesn't happen, that doesn't mean just walk onto the field without talking to your partners. Have that pre-shift meeting by yourselves. Talk about things that you've seen maybe in past shifts, maybe something that you were confused about at training, but use that time, because we do schedule you 15 minutes before your game starts, so use that time to talk to your fellow officials, because it's going to be, I'm able to get Dan's attention a lot easier if I know his name and I know his tendencies as an official than if I just go on the field and I have no idea anything about him. So make sure you do try to get to know your officials before you get on the field. All right, like I said, we do have weekly quizzes. They will be up by 5 p.m. on Thursdays, and they will run to the following Wednesday, so you have quite a while to take them. So please do make sure you take them. We have bi-weekly meetings, Wednesdays at 4:30. They're going to be in the rec center. 219 is upstairs. It's across the hall from the fitness studios, if you guys have been up there. And like I said, that is wrong. The first meeting, like I said, is in 2 weeks. All right, so bonus pay, this is something that we're probably going to end up going away from in the future, but this is if you attend all trainings, you attend all bi-weekly meetings, you take all the quizzes, and you have no write-ups, you are eligible for the $25 bonus pay. It's honestly very rare that we have people who can get this because they miss bi-weekly meetings because it falls during their class, or they forget to take that one quiz that one week that they had a lot of homework. But we do have it as an incentive for you to make sure that you are doing everything we ask you to do. It's not a huge deal if you do miss a quiz, if you miss a bi-weekly meeting, or for some reason you have to leave training early because you have a lot of homework that one night, or if it's a bad thing. Like I said, it is very rare that we have officials who are eligible for it. And I apologize in advance if I cough. You can't tell, I'm a little bit under the weather, so it might happen more and more throughout the night. All right, so the officials uniform. Like I said, we need you guys to come out in athletic pants or shorts. Can you please close that door?
Did you know what? No.
Athletic pants or shorts, no jeans, no cargo shorts, and no form-fitting. So that means, gentlemen, no yoga pants. It's because we ask you to tuck in your shirts, and when we tuck in your shirts, there's that big bulge around your waist. It just doesn't look good. So make sure you're wearing sweatpants or gym shorts of some form or fashion. Make sure they are, like I said, gray, black, white, or navy. Try to stay consistent with both the ref stripes and our school colors, but no teal, okay? Shoes are required to officiate. They have to be athletic shoes, and like I said, cleats are permitted. I would strongly encourage, because you're going to be running up and down a sideline, and because especially now that we have turf fields, we will be playing when it's lightly drizzling, so it can get slippery out there, so I highly suggest you wear cleats. If you have any injuries in your game, whether it's someone just pulls a hamstring or somebody dislocates something anywhere in that span, make sure you're letting our supervisors know. We will go through all of our supervisors' pictures in a minute, but they will be the person who will check you in. They'll be the person who deals with any incidents with an ejection, and they'll also be the person who's dealing with any injuries. Even if you are a nursing student, you are not expected to deal with any injuries. Our supervisors are certified in first aid and CPR, and they are the ones who are responsible for responding to all injuries on our field. So just make sure you get them in a timely manner. If there's bleeding, make sure you tell the person to stay put. Why do you think we ask somebody who's bleeding to stay in one spot? So we don't get blood everywhere. It's a lot easier to clean up a pool of blood in one spot than 20 drops around a whole field. So make sure you try and you keep them in one spot. All right, we also have an incentive program. You get points for doing different things, whether it's working a certain amount of games, being a spotlight official, but you can get a championship t-shirt. We have a logoed whistle, an SOA shirt, which SOA is Seahawk Officials Association, shorts, and we also have really cool book bags now that a couple of our officials have actually. Thor, do you have yours? That is what they look like. So they're pretty cool. And these are some different ways you can get them. We're not going to run through them. It's all on our website, okay? But the majority of you guys will probably get points for just showing up to shifts, which is awesome. All right, another one that we have is the Seahawk Leadership Series. This is something new that we're offering for our campus rec staff this year. This is where we'll have different topics. Like last week, myself and the Aquatics Associate Director taught on having a difficult conversation with fellow staff members. This is optional. You don't have to go to it, but if you go to it, you do have a chance of getting some Campus Rec swag. I think last week we gave out our Campus Rec freakers, visors, and some t-shirts. And you also get kudos. Kudos is something that Campus Rec as a whole does, and this is where you can get points for either doing your job above and beyond, showing up to stuff like this, and you can use it to get stuff in our kudos store for the rec center where we have t-shirts, freakers, like I said. All right, so these are some of the coming up topics. So we've already had those first two, and these three are the ones left in the semester. Andy will send out an email to all of you guys reminding you of the times and dates. So we have goal setting and time management, resume and cover letter writing, and then stress management and study skills. We have the Career Center coming for this one, and we have someone from the Counseling Center coming for the last one. So it's not like it's just us Campus Rec employees getting up there and talking about something that we're kind of familiar on. We have the experts coming for these, so I highly suggest that you guys come to that if you can. All right, so like I said, we're going to introduce you guys to our supervisors. We do have 27 awesome supervisors who have all been trained. They went through a week's worth of training. Some of them have been through that week of training 4 times, like Mr. Kingston over there. But we do have Lily Camp. She did flag football actually last year, so you'll probably see her as an evaluator from time to time, as well as Dylan Carpenter. He will be out here, I think both of them will be out here tomorrow or the next day, leading some of the group sessions we'll have later on. And then Jed Caton, I don't know if you guys poked your head into the breezeway earlier, but he is doing our check-in right now. He also score kept for us for basketball last year. And then Sean Clark is also a flag football official for us, and he will also be out here the next couple nights teaching some of our stations. All right, Octavio, make sure you say Octavio. He will correct you if you say Octavio. Trust me, I know. He did volleyball and soccer for us last year, and he's a first-year soup. I don't know if you saw, but he actually peeked his head in because he's playing outdoor soccer tonight, so he was in here earlier. We have Katie Enig, who did volleyball for us. She actually just finished helping with volleyball training a few weeks ago. She also was an OA for us for a long time. And then Tori Farlow is a second-year soup for us, and her specialty is volleyball. Fun fact about her, she is actually ranked 3rd in the nation in spike ball. So if you guys like spike ball, ask her about it. She is super duper athletic. And then Devin Gordon is a first-year soup for us. He did a little bit of flag football and soccer, I believe, last semester. All right, you won't see Zoe Green this semester. Unfortunately, she is studying abroad in England, but if you decide to carry on and officiate for us next semester, you'll see her a little bit. Casey Amelio is a 2nd or 3rd year soup for us, and she plays flag football, but she officiated basketball, but you might see her out here in a supervisory role. We have Dylan Israel over here. He will be helping us with some stations later on in the week as well. And you did soccer and football? Soccer and football, there we go. And then Zyrus Johnson, the bottom, he did basketball for us, and he is actually the women's club basketball coach as well, so he's involved with that. All right, Mr. Kingston is over here. He's been with us forever, and will be here for a little bit longer as well. So you see it, get to know his face because he'll be around a lot. But like I said, he is our program assistant in charge of officials development. Yes. And then Allie Lynch, you probably won't see for a while because she is currently broken. She has a couple toes broken, I believe. So you might see her as an evaluator or an office assistant for the next few weeks, but maybe towards the end of the season you'll see her as a supervisor. Mariana, she is actually our soccer soup right now, I believe. But she did a little bit of soccer as well. If you guys see a theme here, most of our supervisors have done some sort of officiating in the past. Sam Mendocino did football, basketball, and soccer last year, so she is one of our more consistent officials that have turned into supervisors. But she missed picture day, so there's no picture for her. All right, Sydney Pennington is our 3rd program assistant. She's the program assistant in charge of sport clubs, so you probably won't see her out here as much as the other 2 program assistants, but she's definitely a leader on our staff. She's also the vice president for the women's club basketball team, and she did some basketball officiating as well. Patrick Riley did soccer. This is his first year as a supervisor. Then Rev he's actually been here longer than Kingston, so we have a true veteran on staff. He's also going to be graduating in December, so if you guys get a chance to work with him, it's a great pleasure. He's a great guy, but hopefully he enjoys his last few months here. All right, and then we have Kaylee Rowe. She did volleyball and basketball for us, and this is her second year as a supervisor. And Jonathan Rubin is over here. He has done basketball, basketball and football, and he has actually represented us at extramural tournaments, which if you guys are interested in doing, you will have an opportunity to do. That's when you go to other campuses and you ref actual tournaments. So if you're interested in that, make sure you talk to him. I'm sure he had a great time. Christy Razula, she also did flag football. You won't see her necessarily as much because she has 2 jobs, but if you do see her, feel free to ask her some flag football questions. Then we have Alex Tereshik over here in the back, also lovingly known as Thor. Don't really know how you got the nickname Thor. I don't know, but we call him Thor. He also did just about every sport for us and is a great flag football guy, and you'll see him in the next few weeks as well. Matt Twigger, excuse me, we call him Twigger. Refed literally everything last year and played literally everything last year, so if you don't see him as a supervisor or an official, you will see him as a participant to get to know that face. Get ready for some loud mouths, I would believe. And he will also be helping with training in the next few days. All right, last page. Drew Vaughn, the goofball that he is, decided to show all his teeth in that picture. He did basketball for us, and he also plays on the club basketball team. Reese Walton is also one of the officials who represented us at an extramural tournament, and he should be out here the next couple days helping with training. He was a big flag football guy for us. And finally, we have Caroline Wynand, who is the women's club volleyball president. She doesn't have any prior officiating experience on campus, but she is a supervisor of the officials at Dig and Dive, which if you guys have heard, Dig and Dive is a big sand volleyball place. But she is also our lead supervisor right now, so if you saw, she walked in just a moment ago. All right, the intro's done. Go ahead and take a 5-minute break.